Last unit of the lesson. There are 4 lessons in this one. We're going to quiz next time over all 4 lessons. Today is about approval voting, which honestly is probably one of the most common between friend groups, you know, when you're hanging out with your friends. Up until now, we've considered like plurality method, the consorted, you know, which was or Condorcet, however it's pronounced, that's a tough one. Then the instant runoff, I think we're doing a good job with. And then last time we did the board account. Here's what approval voting is. It's just like, hey, these 3, or not 3 friends, but all these friends are getting together, and they're like, yo, what movie should we watch tonight for like our little group movie thing? And what's weird about this is like this survey must have taken place in the year like 1999 with these 3 movie choices, but they're choosing between Titanic, Scream, and The Matrix. Some nice 90s movies right there. But here's what they're asked to do. Not rank them. Just say, which ones would you mind watching? You know, it's like you approve of them. So you can see here, Bob, if I look down this column, Bob says, I'm cool if we watch Scream, and I'm cool if we watch The Matrix. Really doesn't want to watch Titanic. Are you with me? He approves of Scream and The Matrix. So they put an X on anything that you approve of. Just like if I asked you, hey man, if I was to buy Oreos, Goldfish, Doritos, Cheez-Its, or potato chips, tell me which ones you would approve of, you know, if you were given those for free. So check it out. To total all the results for approval voting, we just do this. Let's see how many votes Titanic got. So we're going to go across the way like this and count up all the X's for Titanic. There's 1. Use a pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how 5 people in this party approve of watching Titanic. So 5 approvals for Titanic. Scream, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Scream approvals. And then The Matrix got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, there's not like they're voting for their favorite. They're just voting. It's like, I'm cool if we watch this movie or not. It's like, it's just, I approve of it. It doesn't rank any higher than the other. Who won according to the approval vote? The Matrix, which came out in 1999. The Matrix would be the winner. That's the approval vote. We'll see how we can strategize that a little bit later, but let's do another approval vote right here. Remember these people that wanted to have a conference and they had to vote on their favorite city that they wanted to do it in? Seattle had a bunch of votes because it's the most populous city. It's got so many people, but it's so far away. Let's see if they just did approval voting. How many people approved of Seattle? So we're just going to add everybody up in the Seattle column. I guess it's a row, not a column. So calculators probably needed for this dude. You see this X right here doesn't actually count for 1. There are 30 of them. You see that at the top of the row? So there's 30 plus, let me move this over a little bit. So 30 plus 10 plus 15 plus 5. Do you see where I was adding those up? 30 plus 10 plus 15 plus 5. How many votes did Seattle get, baby? 60 votes. Let's see what Tacoma got. Tacoma, we need to do 30 plus 15 plus 20 plus 15 plus 5. Right? You're just taking, if it's got an X in the column, you got to use the heading up top to see how many votes it got. When you added those up, could you tell me? I got it on my worksheet here, but what did you get? 85. Cool. Do pulley up real quick for me. So adding up 10 plus 20 plus 15 plus 5. Did you get 50 votes for that town right there? And then lastly, Olympia got 15 plus 15, which is 30, plus 5 more, which is 35. Who won the approval votes on this one? Tacoma. So it's just like, hey man, if we held a conference, put an X in the column to where you approve of. Hey, some questions on your homework, the chart will go like this, to where the chart goes, where you got to read it from left to right. And then there's going to be a couple questions where they switch it around and you got to read it up and down. If you're not sure how to read some of the charts on homework, just ask me and I'll show you. Right? But we're reading all these left to right. One more, man. We asked the group, they said, hey man, what do you want for lunch? You want pizza, tacos, hamburger, or fish? Sorry, it didn't copy that well, but just what do you approve of? Pizza, tacos, hamburger, or fish for lunch? So let's do this. Front row, figure out how many pizza votes we got. Second row, do tacos. Third row, do hamburgers. And last row, do fish. right? Figure out how many votes we got for each one. How many pizza votes? 8 plus 7 plus 3 plus 5. How many pizza votes? 23. Sound okay for the front row? Second row, how many taco votes did you get? 8 plus 6 plus 5. How many tacos votes? 19. Good. Hamburgers. Third row, how many hamburgers? We got hamburgers in the third row. 17. Like it. And then how about fish? 23. Uh-oh! Who won? Tie, right? So what do? They have to choose a different voting system to do it in that case. So approval vote winner, we're going to say none, you know. It is a tie. Let's just say tie. How do we do that instead? Instead of saying that, we'll say a tie. It's a tie. So they probably have a second voting situation, or maybe they do a ranked survey or anything like that, but the approval voting didn't work. Hey, one quick last question here. How come when you look up and down, we haven't seen an X in all 4 spots, or however many spots? How come you don't see an X in every choice? Discuss with a neighbor. Why wouldn't you see that? Here's what it's meaning. Why don't you see a category where there's like one person that's like this? You know what I mean? Like every one of them has an X. Why wouldn't you see that? Not necessarily lying, you know. Then it might not be lying. Like what if I said this? Hey man, I'll bring either Oreos, Goldfish, Doritos, Cheetos, potato chips. I'll buy it. It's all on me. Which one do you approve of? And then, like somebody goes, I don't care. I'll take any of them. You know what I mean? Would that change the vote at all if somebody approved of all of them? Like, does their vote really count then? Do you know what I mean? It's just like they're just so easy to get along with. They're like, I'll take whatever, man. I'll take pizza or tacos or hamburgers or fish. It's all good. So their vote doesn't necessarily matter. It's not like they don't matter. They're not going to influence anything because they just give another one. So I would say their vote wouldn't change the results. Their vote wouldn't change the results. Their vote wouldn't change the results. For example, that would mean pizza would get 24, tacos would get 20, hamburgers would get 18, and fish would get 24. Everything went up by 1. It's still a tie between pizza and fish in that case. Cool? And then the backside, there's really not much to do. It's just kind of talking about what's wrong with it. So approval voting is nice for basic things, but what's wrong? It can very easily violate the majority criterion. So here, if it was a voting between like which one is their favorite, you see that A got 80 votes for first place. It's clearly the majority. There is a total of 100 votes right here. You know, 80 out of 100 is 80% of the vote. A totally gets a majority of the votes, more than half. But you also see that if we was to do it like as their ranked favorite, what you do is you just take out their third choice. Like third choice doesn't matter. So I did that. I graded out right here. If I kind of just totally white it out to where you can't see it anymore, like here, 80 votes for A total. Like there's no other A's. Like if I just highlight all the A's, there's A. They got 80 votes. B gets 80 votes here and 15 votes here and 5 votes there. They get 100 votes total. And then C got 20 votes. B ends up winning if you did it by like approval because you went to their first choice and their second choice. So that's not fair to A, who got the majority, if you just did it like the instant runoff way, but B ended up taking over because of second choice votes. So again, if you get a majority, you should be the winner, right? If you get a majority, you should be the winner straight up. And then lastly, what's wrong with doing this also? If back to the movies of Titanic, Scream, and The Matrix, if some people voted insincerely, like what they did here was Bob and Alice. I'm not going to make you flip over, but if you flip over to the other side, Bob and Alice in their original votes had a vote for The Matrix. They like said, yeah, I approve of that, but I really don't want to watch that, but it's cool if we do. They really wanted to watch Scream. They really, really, really did. So like what they realized is like, hey, yo, if we get together and only vote for Scream, you know, then we'll probably win. So they said, we're not going to vote for The Matrix. We're only going to vote for Scream. And then this guy gets 5 votes, this guy gets 5 votes, and Scream ended up getting 6 votes. So they kind of lied. They said, I really want to watch Scream. Even though I approve of The Matrix, I'm not going to put an X in the box, so they did some insincere voting to sway the results. Honestly, the more I think about it, is like, is that truly that insincere? Because they're voting for what they want. You know, they want Scream, but it's like, they also would be down with The Matrix if that was the worst case scenario. But they sure as heck don't want to watch Titanic. Cool? All right.